Hi everybody, welcome to today's drill class. As usual, we're going to be focusing on longsword drill. The techniques that we're doing today, some of them, well, all of them have application with other weapons, of course. We're going to be looking a little bit at some half swording techniques as part of what we do, which half swording is particularly relevant to, also using the spear and poleaxe and quarterstaff and stuff like that. But we're going to start with some fairly basic things. So we're going to start with practicing our foot rotations on the balls of our feet. So your feet should be about shoulder width apart. And if you tend to rotate on your heels instead of on the balls of your feet, then I would recommend actually lifting your heels off the floor a little bit for this. And we want to keep, if we're holding a sword right now, we want to keep that fairly stable and mostly ignore it. And I'm going to rotate all the way to face pretty much to the left, and then I'm going to go to my right and then back to my left, and that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then the second basic thing that we're going to look at today is the thumb grip flip, which we've done lots of times. So again, I'm holding the sword in a handshake grip, and I'm kind of pinching it between my thumb and my first finger and just resting the rest of the weight on my sword. And now with the heel in my hand, I'm going to push down to flip the sword up so that the cross guard is now perpendicular to my wrist, and my thumb is up on the flat, and then I'm going to drop it back down like that. So we'll do 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and just for balance, we're going to do the same thing with our offhand. So again, I'm just pinching the sword here. I'm going to kick the handle down with the heel of my thumb and flip it up here. 1, 2, 3. You want to keep this as small in your hand as possible. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, excellent. So everything we're doing today is going to be with passing steps rather than gathers. So we're going to work a little bit on our passing steps. And for now, you can either set your sword aside or kind of ignore it, because we are just going to look at the steps. And so if I'm in the tower guard or whatever guard, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to start with my left foot forward and my feet kind of making an L or check mark shape, but I'm mostly facing fairly square forward. And the first thing that I'm going to do is rotate on the balls of my feet and rotate my hips to change the alignment of my feet and my body a little bit, and then I'm going to pass forward. All right? So we'll do that again. Rotate on the balls of the feet and pass forward. Rotate on the balls of the feet and pass forward. All right, I'm going to turn around and we're going to go back the other way. So rotate on the balls of my feet, pass forward. Of course, if you need to use a shorter amount of space, you can turn around and go back the other way at any point while I'm still going straight here. And I'll do one more step. And now I'm going to turn around. Now, we can also do steps backwards with this. Actually, I'll move to the middle just for a moment as I'm demonstrating this. So when I rotate on the balls of my feet, I'm still keeping my weight centered between my 2 feet, so I haven't committed my body to moving forwards or backwards, which means I can now choose to step in either direction. So now with my front foot, I'm going to pass back, and I can rotate on the balls of my feet and pass back again. We do tend to go forward more than backwards, so we're going to do our 2 steps forward, 1 step back drill, and we're going to follow that pattern. Again, if you run out of space, turn around, or you can change it to 2 steps back, 1 step forward, and practice the steps back more. It's all good. So I'm going to rotate, pass forward, rotate, pass forward, that's 2, and back. Rotate, forward, rotate, forward, rotate, back. Forward, forward, back. Forward, forward, back. Forward, forward, back. And I'm going to turn around. Forward, forward, back. Forward, forward, back. Forward, forward, back. Forward, forward, back. One more set. Forward, forward, back. One of the nice things about these online classes for me, normally in class, I demonstrate the thing and then go around and check everybody. I get to practice this a lot more than I normally do with a regular class. All right, so the other thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna pair our steps with our footwork. And today we're gonna start with working on a simple thrust. And we didn't really do the hand action for this. I'll just demonstrate that a little bit up close. So I'm gonna start in my boar guard, and I'm starting in right boar, so my sword is on my right, and my left foot is forward. And I'm just in my regular handshake grip, not in the thumb grip. And if I want to do a thrust from here, I'm gonna bring my sword across like this, and then I'm gonna do my foot rotation, which you can't see because I'm close to the camera. But if I move back to here, I'm gonna bring my sword across, rotate, and then I'm gonna step. And I don't need to extend my sword further than my initial action. My sword is basically all the way extended. I rotate and I step, and any more forward action of the sword is just coming with my step forward. All right, now we can also do the same thing from our left to our right. So I'm going to bring my sword across. Now it doesn't come as far forward because my hands are crossed. I'm still going to rotate and I step, and the step brings me a little bit forward. So we're going to do that going across. We're only going to use forward steps for this for the time being. And again, if you run out of space, just turn around and go back the other way. All right, so sword forward, rotate, step. 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 One more. And then I'm going to turn around. And sword forward, rotate, step. Sword forward, rotate, step. Now, as we do this more and more, you will find that it flows together. In all these classes, I always try and focus on the breakdown, but you'll see that my instinct to flow from extending into that hip rotation is fairly natural. It's just important that I have the sword moving before I start moving my feet, and eventually that will flow together. It's easier to get the sequencing right if we break it down and then develop flow later. All right, so we're also going to look today at the absetzen, which is the offsetting thrust or the counter thrust. And generally speaking, we find that the counter thrust works most effectively if we end up in a thumb grip. So from here in my handshake grip, as I bring my sword across, I'm rotating into that thumb grip already and turning and extending. And we're using the flat, or really the short edge here, rotating down against the other person's incoming flat to gain leverage. It also lets us put our sword on top and stuff like that. The mechanics are important, but this class is mostly just about doing the actions. So again, I'm going to bring my sword across and rotate into the thumb grip, rotate my feet, and step. Now I'm already in the thumb grip. As I rotate across to the other side, I'm staying in that thumb grip so that the crossguard is still making a T, and then I'm going to step forward. And we're going to do this a few more times. So this would be a response to an attack. I wouldn't generally do this as my initial attacking action. I would just do a regular handshake grip thrust. But here, because we're doing the offset, we're using the thumb grip to gain a specific type of leverage. All right, so that's our ab set set. Now, we're gonna tie this into what we were doing last week with the going through and the snapping into half sword. So, if it's useful for you to imagine the scenario that we're looking at, we're looking at a situation where I'm in either a bore guard or a gate guard, and an attack comes in, I do my offsetting thrust, and then they push my point. So I'm going to rotate through and go through with the pommel. And I'm going to lead with the pommel, rotate on the balls of my feet, and then step through. All right? And then we'll do the snapping into half sword in a minute. So we're just going to start with those parts. So from a right handshake grip bore guard, extend into the thumb grip, rotate on the balls of my feet, and step. Extend the pommel, letting my point fall, making sure that I'm keeping myself covered, rotate on the balls of my feet, step through with the pommel. All right, and then reset to the gate, thumb grip thrust, rotate on the balls of the feet, step, pommel forward, rotate on the balls of the feet, step. Reset. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. 3. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. 4. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. 5. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. 6. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. We'll do 3 more. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. 2 more. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. And last one. Counter thrust, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step. All right, now we're going to look at doing the snapping into half sorting, or the snapping into half sorting. So having done my offset, I'm going through with my pommel, rotating, stepping, and now I'm going to shove my pommel down and let my sword rotate around, and I'm going to grab it halfway along the blade here. Now, last week when we did this, we also added the triangle step afterwards, which is an option for us. But today, because of where we're going next, we're just gonna leave it there that we're going through and staying in our same foot position. All right? So this one, I'm gonna do from this side, and I'm gonna start in my left thumb grip extended flug or bore guard, and I'm going to bring my pommel forward, rotate, step, snap into half sword. All right, and we'll do 3 more of that. So from left flug, pommel forward, rotate, step, snap into half sword. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. All right, 1 more. Pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword. All right, so now we're going to add the beginning to this and make it a longer sequence. So starting from my right handshake bore guard, I'm going to rotate into the thumb grip and extend. I'm going to rotate on the balls of my feet and step. I'm now going to go forward with my pommel, rotate on the balls of my feet, step, snap. All right, reset. So, ab sets in, rotate, step. Pommel, rotate, step, snap. Reset. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap. All right, 2 more. Sorry, this side. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap. And last one. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap. All right, so from doing our snapping into half sword, we have a number of things that might happen. But the sort of first and most obvious one is just that we're going to go through and strike with the pommel again. So this would be having snapped into half swording. If there's pressure back on my blade, I'm going to rotate through in the same way and step in with the pommel. And I need to do that from a little bit further away. So I'll rotate my sword, rotate on the balls of my feet, and step in. And this can be a percussive strike with the pommel. Pommel strikes like this are sometimes called Donnerschlags, although that term is used for more than one thing, and that's what I use for this technique, just for clarity between other things. So that's what we're looking at right now. So we'll start from left foot forward, half swording, rotate with the pommel, forward, rotate on the balls of our feet, and step. All right, reset, pommel forward, rotate, step. Reset, pommel forward, rotate, step. Do 2 more. Pommel forward, rotate, step. 1 more. Pommel forward, rotate, step. All right, so now we're going to put this all together into a long sequence again. Holy moly. So, starting from our right handshake foreguard. Ab sets in, extending into the thumb grip fluke. Rotate on the balls of my feet. Step. Pommel forward. Rotate on the balls of my feet. Step. Snap into half swording. Pommel forward. Rotate on the balls of my feet. Step. All right. We'll do that 2 more times. So, foreguard, ab sets in. Rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword, rotate, rotate, step, hit with the pommel. And ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap, pommel, rotate, step. All right, so that action can be a strike. It can be aimed at the head, it can be aimed at the elbow, but it can also be a lead-in. And the 2 main sort of lead-in things that we look at are hooking the neck with our pommel, or hooking either from below into the elbow joint or from above into the elbow joint. In all 3 cases, our follow-up is the same thing, which is that we're going to wrench the sword backwards again into our half swording foreguard. So I'm going to do it facing this way. If I'm starting in my half swording position, so I've snapped over to half swording, I'm going to bring my pommel forward, rotate on the balls of my feet, and step. Now I'm going to hook wherever I'm hooking, and I'm going to bring the pommel back. But I'm also bringing the pommel back by driving the point forward, rotate on the balls of my feet again, and step back. So I'm trying to haul the person back with me like this. You can do it with a step forward, Sometimes that's more effective, but this is definitely a stronger wrenching. Plus it resets us to our guard where we want to start. So from here, pommel forward, rotate, step, wrench, rotate, step. All right? Pommel forward, rotate, step, wrench, rotate, step. Pommel forward, rotate, step, wrench, rotate, step. And one more, pommel forward, rotate, step, wrench, rotate, step. All right, so as before, we're gonna stick this all together. All right, so we're gonna start in our handshake grip bore guard. And this time I think I'm gonna start over here, facing this way. And I'm going to extend into the thumb grip with my absetzen, rotate on the balls of my feet, step. Go through with my pommel, rotate on the balls of my feet, step. Snap into half swording, pommel forward, rotate, step. Wrench, back like this, rotate on the balls of my feet, and step. All right? So, handshake grip, absetzen thumb grip, rotate, step. Pommel, rotate, step. Snap into half sword, pommel, rotate, step. Wrench, rotate, step. Two more. Absetzen, rotate, step. Pommel, rotate, step. Snap into half sword, pommel, rotate, step. Wrench, rotate, step. I was counting earlier, but I'm not sure. We'll do one more. Absetzen, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap into half sword, pommel, rotate, step, wrench, rotate, step. All right, so that is a multi-use technique, as many of the things in our interpretation of this system are. We're doing an action that has multiple applications that all look kind of the same, which means if we get good at that action, no matter which application we're using, we can use it effectively there. I'll talk about that more in some other video. Now, we do have one other technique follow-up that fits in with here, and before we do anything with this, I need to give the big caveat that you can never do this in free play. This is the Mordschlag, or the murder strike. And I should mention, just very quickly, in our original sources, there are many German medieval words that get translated into strike. Schlag, Hau, Stoß, and I think there's a couple of others. And they all are actually a little bit different. And Schlag is actually the root word of our English word slaughter. And it is related to that because to slaughter an animal, you hit it in the head with a hammer. So a schlag is almost always a hammer strike hit. So when we're doing what I call the Donnerschlag, we're hitting like a hammer with the pommel. The Mordschlag is the murder hammer strike, and we're hitting with the pommel. It was designed to overcome armor, among other things. And no modern protective gear will protect you from this. So do not do this to a real person with contact or intensity. However, because we're trying to train this whole martial art, we do it anyway. Not to people, just to the air. So again, I'm going to start facing this way, and I'm going to start in my half swording guard. And I'm going to come forward with my pommel, letting my point drop, and again, kind of making sure that I'm covered here. And at this point, I'm going to actually throw my pommel forward with my right hand as I'm rotating with the balls of my feet. All right? Now, my sword is flexing a lot because I'm standing at a weird transition point where we would actually be in motion. I'm now going to step and grab on, and I don't want to let my hand slide down the blade. I want to transfer my grip directly to one place. And then I'm going to hit with the pommel or the cross guard, either to the head or the elbows or whatever. All right? So again, from half swording, pommel forward, rotate and let go, switch grip, and step. All right? So pommel forward, rotate, step. Pommel forward, rotate and release, step and grab. Pommel forward, rotate and release, step and grab. We'll do 3 more of those. Pommel forward, rotate and release, step and grab. 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 All right, so we are now going to put that all together into our full long sequence. And I'm going to start over at this side. So I'm starting on my bore guard, rotating into my thumb grip with my counter thrust, stepping forward. Pommel forward, rotate my feet, step, snap, pommel forward, and rotate and release, step and more slide. All right? Ab sets in, rotate, step. Pommel, rotate, step. Snap into half swording, pommel, rotate and release, step and grab. We'll do 2 more of that. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap, pommel, rotate and release, step and grab. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap, pommel, rotate and release, step and grab. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap, pommel, rotate, release, step and grab. Last one. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap, pommel, rotate. Oh, I did it. I forgot the more slide. I was going for that and I couldn't take it. So really last one. Ab sets in, rotate, step, pommel, rotate, step, snap, pommel, rotate, release, step, and strike. All right, I'm going to give one last word about the Mordschlag, which is once we have done a Mordschlag, we are now effectively holding a short poleaxe. And everything that we do from here fits with our poleaxe techniques. Having done here, the canonical next thing is to cross my hands and fold this back and basically strike again from the other side. But there are tons and tons of plays of the Mordschlag. Most of them we see in our peripheral sources like Talhofer and stuff like that. But Mordschlags are lots of fun. All right, so we're almost at the end of our time, but this wouldn't be a drill class without at least a couple of run-throughs of the Einzelstück. So we're going to do that. So we're going to start in our tower guard, and the first thing is I'm going to set forth with a counter strike or a strike, rotate into thumb grip ox. I'm now going to do a shielder on my right, a shield out, with my sword coming straight down. I'm then going to come back to Spreckfenster, roll on the balls of my feet, and step in with a quarter. Then I'm going to do a second quarter to the other side, back with a parter, back to the tower. Wechselhau all the way to the floor, and this is an invitation. When their strike comes in, push the pommel down to shear up, and as I step, I'm going to do a waker to my right, triangle step, shoot long or waker to the left, go through my pommel, step, schnappen with a triangle step. All right, so we'll do 2 more of that without me going into detail. So strike and step, first winding, shielder back, quarter forward, second quarter forward. Shielder back, high vom Tag, Wechselham, abschneiden, waker, waker, go through, schnappen, recover. All right, and Zornhau, winding, Schielhau, quarter, quarter, harder, high vom Tag, Wechselhau, abschneiden, waker, waker, go through, schnappen, recover. And one more from here. Zornhau, first winding, shielder, quarter, quarter, harder, high vom Tag, Wechselhau, abschneiden, waker, waker, go through, schnappen, recover. That's it for today's class. I hope that it was useful. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you